All right, so I've seen a few videos and a few blog posts lately talking about how pull downs really pull off the line. It causes early shoulder rotation. It's a lot of guys anti-long tosser really talking about it. So I just wanted to give my thoughts. And essentially, for me, there's a difference between the front side pulling off or getting that early pull and just the glove side clearing. All right. So essentially, to me, the glove side clearing is a pure shoulder movement only. Right? This is just my shoulder movement. This isn't me turning my shoulders. This is a pure shoulder and scap movement. This is my shoulder, I guess, extending, and you get the scap retraction back to the midline. But this is not shoulder rotation. So there's a fine line between the two, and a lot of kids maybe pull with the front side. You have coaches telling you to really pull with the glove side, and I'm not telling you to do that. All I think about this more as a passive movement, or just pulling the scap to the midline, as opposed to pulling the elbow down or bringing your glove to your chest. It's just a scapular movement. All right. So for guys that have problems picking that up, what I have them do is very similar to what I do here in front of the camera. Is you can get in front of a mirror and just feel yourself from different arm slots. Right. If I'm straight out, do I pull back? Am I more of a crossfire guy? Either way, it's just a shoulder and a scap movement, and not me pulling into shoulder rotation. And just getting in front of a mirror will help you sort of see that. Just see whether or not when I do this movement, am I pulling and my shoulders start to rotate, or am I just clearing with the glove side? Essentially, the point what we're trying to get here is to let this lead arm clear and let the scap pull back. And what that allows us to do is rotate forward and faster. All right. So trunk angular velocity correlates very well with throwing velocity. So essentially, that's what we're trying to teach by having the glove arm clear. Essentially, this gets out of the way and allows us to speed up over our front side in that more Ferris wheel action and less of a spin or getting really blocked off and getting super linear and guys start to push a little bit. So essentially, that's what we're trying to feel. And it's a very difficult movement thing. Some guys sync it up well, some guys don't. So the guys that don't, I encourage a lot of pivot pickoffs, not even necessarily with a weighted baseball, but just playing catch as we warm up and just feel low RPE type rep, just trying to feel out the movement and then trying to add into it, especially with the younger guys who maybe struggle with that feeling from the get-go. Essentially, there's a fine line between where do we glove side clear and am I pulling off. All right, and with the best of the best, the elite throwers, you're going to see it synced up very well with just as the glove arm finishes clearing and is tucked, that the shoulder rotation starts. So one thing that I've really been telling guys is that the shoulder rotation is going to begin when the throwing arm or the throwing shoulder is ready to unload. So if the throwing arm shoulder is ready to unload too soon, you're going to start turning your shoulders, right? So I try to get guys to feel that the shoulder rotation doesn't start with the front side pulling down. It starts when the back shoulder is ready to unload, if that makes sense. So essentially, the longer we can keep our throwing arm back and loaded as this glove arm clears, allows that force coupling that we're looking for to really spin us over the front side and get a fast moving trunk like we're looking for. But guys that tend to pull off don't get that. They'll lose their separation, they tend to get fish hooked, the arm tends to drag, and that's what we're looking. That's what a lot of coaches I think see is guys that are pulling with their glove side instead of just letting it clear. So that's all I have. It's trying to decipher the difference between the glove arm clearing and guys who like to pull with their glove arm. Two very different movements giving two very different results. Let me know your guys' thoughts.